In 1200 BC, one of the most advanced civilizations on Earth disappeared. Not slowly, not gradually, overnight. Cities that had stood for centuries burned to the ground and never rebuilt. Entire languages lost. Trade networks that spanned continents gone. And to this day, historians cannot fully explain what happened. To understand the collapse, you first need to understand what was lost. The Late Bronze Age was not primitive. It was extraordinary. The Egyptians were building temples that still stand today. The Hittites had mastered iron and commanded armies of thousands. The Mycenaeans, the real people behind the myths of Troy and Achilles, ruled Greece from massive stone citadels. The Minoans on Crete had running water, multi-story palaces, and art so advanced it wouldn't be matched for another 1,000 years. These civilizations traded with each other. They wrote letters to each other. They knew each other. It was the ancient world's version of globalization. And then it all ended. Within a span of roughly 50 years, between 1200 and 1150 BC, nearly every major civilization in the eastern Mediterranean collapsed. Mycenae, destroyed. Ugarit, burned so fast its citizens never returned. The Hittite Empire, which had rivaled Egypt for centuries, simply ceased to exist. Archaeologists found destruction layers at site after site. Ash, rubble, skeletons in doorways. One city, Ugarit, preserved a clay tablet that was being baked in a kiln when the fires came. It was a desperate letter from a king to his neighbor, begging for ships and soldiers. Help never came. The tablet was never sent. It just sat there, in the ruins, for 3,000 years. So who, or what, caused it? For decades, historians blamed the Sea Peoples, a mysterious group of raiders who appear in Egyptian records, described as unstoppable invaders from the sea. But that theory has cracks. Raiders don't collapse entire empires simultaneously across thousands of miles. Modern research points to something more terrifying: a perfect storm. First, a drought so severe it lasted decades, destroying harvests across the entire region. Second, earthquakes. Evidence suggests massive seismic activity struck multiple cities within the same generation. Third, the very interconnectedness that made the Bronze Age so powerful became its fatal weakness. When one civilization fell, the trade networks broke. When trade broke, others starved. When they starved, they invaded their neighbors. A cascade, a collapse that fed itself. What came after was called the Greek Dark Ages, and the name is earned. Writing disappeared. Entire scripts were lost and forgotten. The population of Greece dropped by an estimated 75%. Trade stopped. Art stopped. Cities shrank back into villages. For 400 years, the Mediterranean world essentially forgot it had ever been great. The myths of gods and heroes, Hercules, Achilles, the Trojan War, those weren't legends of the future. They were memories of a world that had already been lost. The Bronze Age collapse is a warning that history keeps trying to give us. That complexity is fragile. That interconnected systems can unravel faster than anyone predicts. That civilizations don't always fall to a single enemy. Sometimes they fall to everything at once. And sometimes, the most frightening thing isn't the collapse itself. It's how completely the world forgets it ever happened.